Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I am making a little raised tray using Dollar Tree items. It's going to be made so we can decorate it for any time of the year with some removable decorations and things. So this thing will last forever here. So what I'm going to use for the base of this is this sign. It's an 11 by 11 inch square sign from Dollar Tree. Let me hear what's going on. And this had a lot of glitter on it. So what I did was I just took one of these sanding blocks. You can get these at Dollar Tree too. And I just sanded off the glitter. I did that off camera because it's really loud and annoying. So it came off very, very easy. So that's what I did for that. And it also has this little hanger on it when you get it. And it's stapled on the back. And I just took a pair of needle nose pliers and pulled out the staples. And they came out fairly easy too. So that's what we're going to use for the base of this. And I'm going to cover this up with a piece of this wood grain paper. My camera's acting funny, guys. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. And I think this stuff's really pretty. You can find some of this at Michael's, and a lot of the times I find the best ones at Hobby Lobby. And yeah, they're like 69 cents, but they're like always on sale. So, you know, they're not very much at all. So that's going to be the base of it. Now for the sides that we're going to put around here, because we're going to have this built up a little bit with sides, I'm going to use some of these wood planks from Dollar Tree. I have all my stuff written over here. I'm going to use 2 of the 12 inch, and these things are just called chunky slats. Here's the little numbers. I'll show those to you too in case you want to look them up, because I'm going to use 2 of the 12 inch and 2 of the 10 inch. Let me see if I can get that to focus here. It's so cloudy and miserable out today. So hopefully I'm on focus in case anybody wants these numbers. I don't know if it's ever going to focus. Alright, anyway, you could just pause that and try to get the number off of there. But anyway, they're about 3/4 of an inch wide too, so I thought these would be really, really nice to do for the outside of this tray. So we're going to stain those, and what I'm going to use to stain those with is just some of this milk chocolate apple barrel paint. You could use any kind of paint you want. You can paint it any color you want, or stain it, or paint it, or however. But I'm going to be using that because I really like the way that color comes out. So before we stain the wood, I want to cut out my paper to put on the bottom of this little tray. So I'm just going to pretty much get this on here where you want it, and then I'm just going to mark it. Hopefully. Actually, I think I'm going to turn it over. I think it'll be easier to mark it that way. And this thing's a little bit warped. I'm hoping I'm going to straighten this out when I glue it down on the wood planks. But a lot of these signs this year are just very warped. But anyway, I'm going to mark this over here. A little mark there, and then a little mark up here in this corner. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yep. And then I'm just going to take my little cutter here, or you could just make, you know, trace around the edge of it, cut it out with scissors if you don't have one of these little cutters. But these things come in so handy. And then I'm just going to cut that out. Nice. I like this because it makes a nice straight line. And it won't really matter if you cut it out because you're not going to see the edges of these. They're going to be covered up with the planks. So even if it's not perfectly straight, it really won't make that much of a difference. So you're just going to make yourself, oh, there goes a noisy car up the road. Make yourself an 11 by 11 inch square. And there we go. That's easy peasy. And then you're just going to get yourself some glue, whatever glue you want to use. You could use Mod Podge. You could use pretty much anything. And I'm probably going to spread this out with a one of these sponge brushes. I think is going to be the easiest thing to do here. I don't know what I want to use yet. I didn't even make up my mind. Maybe I'll use some of this tacky glue. That one's not open. Well, I don't want that one because that one fell on the floor. Okay, this one's open. Let's see if I can get this lid off so I can pour some of it out. That will make my life so much easier. Alright, let's put a little bit of that glue in there. And then I have this brayer that I picked up at Michael's, and it's a Mod Podge is the brand of it, to help roll this out nice and easy. People have suggested that to me, and I don't even know if I ever even knew what a brayer was before. But I'm just going to paint some of this glue on here. Like I said, you can use any glue. You're just gluing down paper. And I think I'm just going to do this a little bit at a time in case it dries out on me. Maybe we'll do half and half here. I'm afraid my edges are going to dry out. And you want it kind of thin. You don't want this too thick. So we're just going to put our paper on there. Cover up our poor little gnomes. That's why I got 2 of those signs. They were so cute, but it was also the perfect size for this. So I'm just going to take my little tool here and roll this out nice and smooth. And then I'll go over it again once I get the other side on. Alright, so now we can just peel that up there and glue down this side. I can hold on to it. There we go. Alright, and I figured I would put it on this side. I mean, you could put it on the other side if you didn't want to ruin that whole thing. But the other side is a nice finish on it. So I thought that would be great for the bottom of this project. So I just want to make sure I get all around my edges real good. Make sure it's down. And I think that looks good right there. Very nice. So there's our wood plank now. Oops, I see a bubble. There we go. This is a wonderful little tool. I'm so glad somebody suggested this to me. Alright, so I think that looks good. Now see, the other side of this is this nice brown color, so I don't have to do a thing to that. I am going to have to trim this off a little bit though when it's dry, but I'll wait till it's dry and I'll just cut that off. Alright, so now for our wood planks that are going to be lining up the edges here to make this, you know, up a little bit higher, we are going to stain these guys. So like I said, you need 2 of the 12-inch and 2 of the 10-inch. This is actually not even the right size, but I just wanted to show you this because I already have my other ones already painted, already dry, because I have to glue them together, so I want to get a little bit of a head start. And then also you're going to need 4 of these little snowmen that they have at Dollar Tree now for Christmas, or you could use the angels. They're a little bit smaller, but we're going to flip these snowmen upside down, and they are going to be our legs for this raised tray. So for this part, to stain all of your planks, I'm just going to use some of this chocolate brown paint. Like I said, you can use any color you want, but I just love the way this color comes out. And then to make it look like a stain, I am just going to paint these on. Some of these are pretty rough. You're going to have to sand these too before you paint them. But what I do with these is I just put a nice coat of paint on here. Not too thick, just spread it out. And you're going to want to get your edges and everything done. And I'm just going to spread that out real good. And if you want it darker, you can just leave it on this way. But I like it to look more like a stain, so I get it all on there nice and good, and then just take a paper towel and then just wipe it off. And that also makes it dry really, really quick. But look how pretty that is. Went from that color to that pretty stain look. And, you know, if you want to use stain, you could, but this way there's like no smell, there's nothing. So I already did those, and you're going to want to do the same thing with the little snowmen. And I already stained those guys up here, so they're ready to go. Same thing, I just put the paint on and wipe the paint off. It's just that easy. Alright, so let me get this out of the way now, because I think I'm done with the paint. Alright, so here are the ones that I have stained already. So these, I'm going to pick the prettiest side here, because some of these aren't the best, But for this is kind of going to be like a rustic kind of thing here, so they don't have to be perfect. But I do want to take the nicest side from the outside. So you're going to take 2 of these, and I believe we're going to put them on this side. I'm going to have to set this back up again. No, I think that's going to make it too long. So these are going to go in here. Yeah, so the smaller ones are going to go on the inside of the longer ones like that. So I'm going to make sure I got this at the exact same size. And then this is going to, well, this is going to be flipped over this way. But this is going to fit right on here. And I actually think I'm going to put a couple little nails in each corner here just to make sure it holds good. And maybe a couple on the side just to give it a little more strength to it. So for this, we're just going to take some of this super glue wood glue. This stuff works great. I absolutely love this stuff. And you're going to want to put this down on a nice flat surface because that will be your bottom. Make sure it's nice and even because some of these are not perfect. But the bottom will be nice and straight as long as you leave it all down on the table to dry. So that's what I wanted to get this started here. And we are just going to glue these corners. Make sure I got my right side I want out. But you know, a good amount of glue on each one of these corners here. And then we are just going to glue these together. And if you want, you could put a little hot glue in there to hold it for you while it dries. But I think this is going to be okay. I'm just going to leave this sit here for a few hours. This stuff dries really quick. So spread that out a little bit. I don't want it oozing out all over the place. Alright. And that is how we're making our little frame for this. And then you just want to make sure they're all nice and even. And then just, you know, make sure they're snugged up together. I don't have any clamps or anything big enough to hold this, so that's why it might be a good idea to put a little bit of hot glue in there to hold these so they don't shift on you. But I think that's good, and I am just going to leave this thing sit until it's nice and dry, and then if we add a few nails through the bottom of that, I think that will hold this perfect. Alright, so as soon as everything dries here, my wood grain paper and this little frame, then we're going to come back and put this together. Okay, I let this sit for a couple hours. I actually put some painter's tape on here to hold it together since I didn't have clamps or anything, but this thing's together really good. I love that glue. But that's all I did is I just put it on the corners just to hold it in place while it dried. But if you're lucky enough to have some big clamps, well then you could use that. But I did not, so that worked out perfect. You could use this. It's just painter's tape. You could use masking tape or whatever. I did peel a little paint off. Okay, so after your tape and stuff, you're going to want to flip this over because this side is nice and even. And like I said, these aren't perfectly cut, I don't think. They didn't match up perfect on the top. So you want to flip that over to the side you had on the table because that will be nice and even. So we're just going to take some of this wood glue, or you can use whatever glue. You could use hot glue if you want to. And I'm going to glue this down here, and then I'm also going to take a few of these little nails. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to. I think it'll hold pretty good as long as you're not putting anything heavy because we're also going to have the little legs on the bottom too to support it. So we are just going to go around here with a little beam of this wood glue. You don't need a lot of this stuff. This stuff is amazing. There. That should do it. And then I'm just going to put this on here. And I'm not sure, I think I'm going to have to take this out somewhere else and hammer it because my husband's sleeping because he worked last night, and if I do that in here, it's going to be too loud. And you guys don't want to hear me hammer either. But, you know, if you're going to do it with just the glue, you're going to want to push this down and sit something on it because these things, like I said, they tend to warp a little bit. So you would just want to set something heavy on top of here, like a heavy book or something, just to hold it, you know, and let it sit for an hour or two, just so it dries really good. So that is what is going to happen here. But I am also going to put those little nails. I think I'll put one, like in each corner here. There's plenty of room to put a nail in. and maybe a couple on the sides. I don't know. But then I think it would be good to hold pretty much anything. And then we're going to put our little legs on here. And then this part will be finished. Okay, so my camera shut off on me again today. I don't know what is going on. So I did show that I had this all glued on here, and I put a nail in the corner and a corner here, and then one in the center, just to give it a little extra. And that is how this looks on the inside, and I absolutely love this. Now I glued these on. I did just show this in my video that just decided to shut off on me. But how I measured to where I want to place them was, I measured in 1 inch on your wood. Don't measure the sign, measure it by the wood. I measured in 1 inch, and then I measured a 1/2 inch down and made a little dot on each side here. Same here, and I did it here 1 inch, and then I marked it at a 1/2 inch and made a little dot. And then I flipped it all the way around, and then I did the same thing here, measure an inch and a 1/2 inch and make a dot. And then all I did with these was I put hot glue on them and I stuck them on there. But I don't know if this saved or not in the video. I'll have to check it when I go out to edit my video, but I have a feeling that I just lost all of that. But anyway, that is all I did, and then this little guy is done. Look how cute this is. And it's nice and level, and it's very sturdy. So I am so happy with this. I love those little legs on there. I'm so glad that a couple of my subscribers told me to use the angels and things, turn them upside down, and use them for legs, and that is just such a fabulous idea. So that is the tray part. Now you can add in here anything you want. You could put in, I have this little candle tray that I made. I don't know, a week or two ago I did a video on this, and you could put that down in here and then just set it up with some of these cute little deer and things. I think that would be so cute. And then you could just add whatever you want to in here. You could put a little joy sign back there in the corner. Let me take the tag off of that. They have these little joy ornaments and things, and I think that would look cute. You know, just kind of tucked away in a corner. And you could just put all kinds of cute little things in here. But what I want to do with this right now is, when I'm not gluing anything down, I want also these little stocking holders. I pulled out the little thing on the stocking holders, and you could add a cute little snowman back there. And just, you know, whoops, just set this up really cute. And those deer are so nice. There's actually two these come in a 2-pack. So I could actually put this little guy in here too if I wanted to. These little reindeer ornaments. I could have a couple of those in there. And this would just be a cute little thing to set up on a counter. And just to add, you know, some of your little decorations and things with it. But I'm going to put this all away, and what I want to do is I want to make a centerpiece in here, and I am going to use some of this Garland here that you get at Dollar Tree. It was $2.76, and it's 9 feet long, and it's just called branch garland, non-lit branch garland. And yeah, these are great to do something like this with. So I'm just going to kind of bend this stuff around here, and we're going to put that in there. So let me get this out of here and kind of measure how much I'm going to use, and we'll be right back. Okay, I took that whole garland strand, the whole thing, and I just wrapped it and wrapped it and wrapped it around my hand. I don't have enough room here to show you that. But that's all I did, is just wrap it around till it looks like a wreath. And then I just kind of put it down in here and just fit it inside, you know, the box. And you can bend them around really simply. And I'm not going to glue this in or anything, because I want to be able to take it out and then change this up for, you know, the different holidays and things. And this box ended up, I'll tell you the measurements of this too when it was all finished. It was 11 3/4 by 11 3/4 square, and it's 3 inches high. So it's a really nice size. So now I have my little hole in here, and I'm going to take one of these floral foams you get at Dollar Tree. They come 4 in a pack. And I'm going to put that right down here in the center of this. And that way, you can mess around with all these after you get it in there and straighten all your things out. You want to make sure you get most of your stuff up. And this stuff sheds like crazy. I'm hoping it's done once I'm done doing this, but it really, I'm glad I didn't use it to decorate anywhere in the house, because it is just crazy shedding. But you're just going to want to, move all your pines around nice. So now that fits in there perfectly. That way, that'll raise up my little candle that I want to put in there. I'm going to have to make another one of these candles because I love this. To put back in my other little centerpiece that I want to put it in my hallway. But anyway, once you get that down in there, and then you can just move your pines around and cover up that piece of foam. And you just want to leave, enough space so you can lift this thing up and down to turn on your candle. Or you could add lights to this whole thing. That would be so pretty too. Just those little like fairy lights. But I'm not going to glue anything down in here. Like I said, I want to be able to take it right back out after Christmas and use it again for something else. There you go. So I have all these little picks and berries and things from Dollar Tree that I am just going to cut off here. Where's my wire cutters? Here they are. I'm just going to cut these off and just, whoops, knocked my candle over already. I'm just going to stick these here and there and just, these are so pretty. And these are called mistletoe actually. But I'm just going to tuck some in here. Whatever decorations you want. You could do like a theme if you wanted to do like all gingerbread men or something on here. It would look so cute. That's something I don't have anything of is gingerbread men. And I don't know why. But I have so many really pretty little picks and things that I've gotten from Dollar Tree. I figure I'm just going to do it with these. And just tuck them in there because it's just going to be sitting. If you want to glue these in, you could go ahead and glue them in. That way when you pick it up, you can just put it back in next year if you want to. I love these little sticks from Dollar Tree too. These are just called branches. They're glittered branches. And I just cut off pieces of them from, whoops, and throw them on the floor. There we go. And I think these always look so pretty just sticking out. Play around with it until you have it where you really like it. I want to put some Christmas ornaments in here too. I have some of these that came on another pick I thought would be pretty, and they're actually wired on here, so I'm just going to cut that off. And we can tuck them in here. Give that a little festive look. And I also have these too, and these actually match the ribbon. These little ornaments. I'm just going to cut the string off because I'm not going to hang these. And you could fit them in there. I actually like the red and white ones better, but I might stick a couple of those in there too. Why not? And they also had the black and white ones. They're really pretty. So you know what? I think I want one of these in the front. I think I'm going to switch that around. Put one of these over here on the sides of this. That one in the back here on the other side. That's why this will make a perfect centerpiece. And you just keep adding whatever you want to add to these. These have some of these little red things on here you could put in. And I need to get something up in the center here too. More of these berries. I like these white berries. They're just very, very pretty. But however you want to decorate, I'm just kind of throwing this here together real quick just to give you guys an idea. You could actually make some of these stand up taller by your candle. Actually, you can get that right down in that floral foam. Add a little height to it. I just love those silver branches. Love them, love them. Alright, I'm not going to do too much more here to keep you guys, but you guys get the idea of this. Whoops, I got a little one there. I want a big one back here. behind my candle. And then, you know, your little candle lights up real pretty in the center there, and I think that would look so nice. Oh, pine cones. I forgot the pine cones. Gotta have pine cones. Let's see, we can put a couple of those right in here. Another pine cone. These have a nice little wire on them too. And I'm going to add some more to the back too, but I just want to show you guys. Come out of there, berries. There we go. There, and I think that would be so pretty. I'm still going to add more stuff in here. I don't know what yet. I have all these pretty things here yet that I can use. Put some of those back here. I don't have anything in the back. But that's it. That's all there is to making a pretty little centerpiece for your, you know, table, counter, whatever you want to make it for. So I'm going to clean this whole mess up here, and I'll just take a nice picture of this and put it at the end here so you guys can see it. And yeah, that's it. My main project was getting this little tray put together, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys all next time. Have a great day, everyone.